YouTube? Made it out to the spot to make our long range video today. I've been coming out to this spot a few times over the last week since the last video I posted, and also have some updates as far as my Wildcat barrel, the 25 caliber barrel that I had in here. I had to send that gun back to the place I bought it for warranty repair, so unfortunately I had to send the barrel with it. So I got the impact set up again with the 30 caliber, shooting the Varmint Knocker Slugs, 50 grain, and I'm shooting them at 945 feet per second. I'll talk a little bit more about what happened with the Wildcat later, but every time I come out here to this spot, which I have 200 yards set up, it's always windy, and it really doesn't do any justice when I'm trying to put reliable groups at this distance. So today we came out here nice and early. There's no wind. I've got the target set up, the gun's shooting well, and we're going to take some 200-yard shots. I'm going to shoot a 5-shot group, and then we'll go check out the target and see how it's doing. And this is 200 yards. That's 5 shots. Let's go down there and check it out. Okay, as I'm walking down to this target, I figured I'd take the time and let you guys know what's going on with my Wildcat. In one of the videos where I was trying to make an accuracy video, or turn it into an accuracy video, my tune changed. I was shooting slugs at almost a little back, actually 1,000 feet per second, and mid-shot string it kind of dropped. And turned out what the issue was is I had a leaky regulator, and I don't know if it was from an O-ring that was leaking or if it was damage to the regulator itself. There was also a bent screw, one of the screws that goes into the bottom of the stock, right where the trigger guard is. That screw is bent, and after seeing somebody else's Wildcat, I realized how badly bent mine was, and it must have got damaged during the shipping, or at least that's what I'd hope. I contacted the place that I bought it from, and they said that they'd warranty work, do all the work under warranty, but I have to send everything back. So I had borrowed that 25 cal superior liner and had put it in the impact. And as per my last video, I had said that I was going to try and do the accuracy video with that 25 caliber superior liner, but it didn't quite work out. I had to send everything back. They said it'd probably be about a month before I got my rifle back for them to complete all the work. So that's how I ended up putting the 30 cal back in there. And I changed my 30 cal tune to the tune that I have written down there. I'm shooting it a lot hotter just to try to get a flatter trajectory to shoot this longer distance. And at this distance, I'm shooting at 200 yards. The drop is 60 inches for that round, which is equivalent, which comes out to 60 MOA. So that's what's going on with the Wildcat. Okay, we're down here at the target. So there's our 3 shots stacked. I think the last one we missed off in this direction. Now, I was aiming right here. I don't want to adjust mid-group, but as you can see, there's my thumb for kind of some reference. That's probably an inch. I'll bring the tape measure next time I come down, but we'll call this one our cold bore shot, so it's a little bit off. But at 200 yards, that's pretty good. Where I'm shooting from, you can barely see it. There's the truck way down there. So let me paint this target, and we'll take another 5-shot group. I think I'll actually adjust the scope and see if we can get a little bit more centered. So let me paint the target, and we'll take some more shots. All right, so at this distance, with the 50-yard zero, I'm at 27.5 minute of angle at 200 yards. So that's my drop for this round's particular setup. Let's take another 5-shot group, and then after this I got some soda cans and some water bottles to see if we can hit that stuff. Looks like we're low and off the target. Okay, there's our 5. We'll take the tape measure down there and go check it out. Okay, so what happened here on this last shot string is when I actually adjusted my scope, I went further off to the right, and it took me a while to realize it. I should have zeroed my windage turret, but once I realized that, quickly adjusted it, got us back on target to where it was hitting with the last time. So that's what accounted for the miss. Okay. So, I was actually a little off. This is the first group that I shot out here. So the gun's probably still warming up. We'll call that one low. I adjusted from here and then shot my group. But a little bit spread out from our farthest here. That's about 2 inches center to center. And same there. So that's a 2-inch group. Looks like one of them I was off target. We'll probably hit over here. So that's still not bad, you know, for 200 yards. Let's see how we do on some targets. I'm going to set up some soda cans, and we'll see if we can hit those. All right, so let's take our 2 shots at our soda cans and see if we can hit them. Got them both. So the gun's shooting pretty good. That would have been 2 dead squirrels, 2 dead rabbits, 2 dead coyotes, whatever you want to call it. With the ballistics at this distance, well, actually, I'll drop that number right here. I can't remember what the foot-pounds of energy is, but I'm shooting at right at 100 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. And with this ballistic coefficient, the manufacturer lists it at 9.096. That'll carry 30 foot-pounds all the way out to 600 yards. So that's plenty of energy to reach out at those distances if you can shoot accurately enough. So let's go down there and pick up the gear, and we'll go over some more talking. I'll let you guys know what happened with the Wildcat, and I can go over the tune for this one, what my settings are, And this is just going to be the first of the long range videos. This is 200 yards. Next, we're going to go out to 300 yards, and we'll go out, we'll keep on going as far as I can get it to group. My targets are about 10 inches wide by 9 inches tall. So that's about the size of a coyote chest. Not that I'm going to be shooting coyotes at that distance, but just for the sake of seeing how far I can get these things to hit accurately, I'd like to keep on pushing it until I can't group them on the targets no more. So this will be the first in a series of long-range videos. But let me go pick up my gear, and we'll chit-chat a little bit about what's going on with everything else when I get back. Okay, just in case you were wondering what my setup was, I'm running the Athlon Aries ETR. There it is right there. That's a very nice scope, 34mm tube. It's got ED glass. It's got, I think it's the one, it's a APLR 5 or 4 reticle. It's got the little dot in the center. It's got 120 MOA of adjustment on your elevation, which is really nice. That's one of the main reasons I bought that scope, is so I can shoot long distance. I also got the Eagle Vision Infinity adjustable rings. These ones are a little bit nicer than the FX rings. The FX rings only have one screw to keep everything together to adjust it, and these are just beefier. Plus these have slots everywhere. You can kind of see right there, I've got a bubble level on that side, and that's a necessity if you're going to be shooting distance. These are the Varmint Knocker Slugs that I've been shooting. I've done a previous video on expansion for these, and they expand great even at lower speeds. When I did the video for the expansion tests, I was actually shooting these at a lot lower speed, but I tuned it up to see how fast I can get it accurately, so I can get a flatter trajectory. My regulator is set to about 100. It's about 135, 140. Yeah, right, about 135, 140. For these, this is the only thing I've done to this Power Plenum Edition is put a HUMA transfer port and a HUMA pellet probe. You can kind of see that right in through there. The factory pellet probe is stainless, just like the same color as that block right there. This is the aftermarket one. But I swapped that out, and the choke point on these is the hammer spring. If you're trying to go for a max power tune, and you try to adjust your regulator anything over about where I got it, you'll end up getting a lower velocity because the hammer spring on these isn't strong enough to open up the valve all the way. So that's one thing that you might, if you're interested in going higher power, you'll have to swap out your hammer spring. I'm using a Donnie FL Ronin on it. I like these Ronins. They really quiet everything down. I got one on my 25 as well. But that's what I'm shooting. And like I said, I was shooting 27 minute of angle is the correction for that distance. But that's the setup. I wanted to kind of show you guys what I was using before I boxed everything back up and put it away. But I'm going to head back to the house, and we'll do a little chit chat at the table about what's going on with the Wildcat, and why I had to take my 25 caliber barrel out. Alright, what's up guys? We're back here to kind of wrap up this video. We can talk a little bit more about how I came to this tune on my Impact. What I did for this particular tune, because I was going for max speed, you can't just crank everything up to the max, like your reg pressure, your hammer, and just hope that it's going to shoot at the max power. For this particular gun, the Power Plenum Edition, the hammer spring that comes with it won't open the valve all the way at any reg pressure higher than 135, 140-ish. So what I did is take your valve restrictor here, your valve limiter, and I had it open all the way. There's 4 lines. You can only see it's at 3.5 right now, but you open it up to the 4th line, and that's all the way open. It means it's not restricting anything. And set your reg pressure, I'd say about 130 is pretty safe to begin with, and crank your hammer pretension, which is the little adjustment right here, this little Allen that's in there. Adjust that all the way down until you almost bottom it out. You'll feel it bottom out when you can't move this thing no more, and you'll feel the screw that you're tightening right here get tight. It'll bind up and you can't adjust it no more. That means you're about bottomed out. Back it off half a turn, and that'll give you max hammer strength. From there, you're going to want to take your reg pressure and adjust your regulator from up in here. Go counterclockwise, literally 1/8 of an inch at a time. 1/8 of a turn at a time. And each time you make an adjustment, shoot about 5 shots over the chronograph, and keep on doing that. Keep on going up until you see your speed decrease, till it slows down. And what that means is if your pressure in your plenum exceeds what the hammer spring can open all the way. So from that point, back it in, go back in, 1/8 of a turn, and that'll be your max velocity tune. Now for me, in my particular setup, I ended up screwing this in about a half a line right there. So it's at 3.5. And that gave me my max, not max velocity, that gave me my best groups. With it all the way open, I was actually shooting a 955 with that 50 grain slug, which is a lot of power. But this is still giving me 100 foot-pounds, which is excellent. Another thing, you don't have to have such an expensive scope, a nice scope. I'm by no means rich, but the more you can spend on the scope, the easier it kind of makes it. But I've got another scope here that this is what was on my Wildcat, and that scope works just fine. You know, this is a $400 price range. This one's about 3 times that much, but this will do just fine for long distance shooting. You got to be able to see it if you're going to try to stand a chance of hitting it. And this Argus has been a really good scope. It adjusts, retracts reliably. I was able to, you know, shoot multiple distances, dialing back and forth, and hit stuff with pellets with this on my Wildcat. Now, the Wildcat, I should get back in another month. Hopefully they get some stuff repaired on it. I'm assuming that it's the regulator itself that was actually had some issues with it. You know, the symptoms that it was showing kind of lends towards that as opposed to a leaking O-ring. So we'll see what they say when it comes back. Back here in the background, I've got a new rifle that I picked up. This is a Adam MVP-17, and that's a sweet shooting little gun. They only make it into, well, I think they might offer it in 17 and 22. This is 22 cal. The whole gun is 23.5 inches from back to the front of the what they call a silencer. It's an excellent shooting little gun. It's got a free-floating Lothar barrel, and it groups excellent. I was very surprised with the accuracy of this gun. It'll put it'll put clover groups at 50 yards with the Hades pellets and with the 15 grain JSBs. So it's been a really cool gun. If you guys are interested enough in this, I can put out an accuracy video at this and just do a basic review on it. There's a couple of reviews on YouTube right now, but just something that I picked up as a truck gun, and I'm looking to get a new suppressor for that. Donnie FL is working on an adapter, so you can take the factory one off, which is right there, and put a regular Donnie FL on, and that'll help it out big time. The only thing wrong with that gun is that it's kind of loud, and out here where I'm at, it doesn't really make a difference. Nobody cares that I shoot, but me personally, I like to have my guns quiet. Well, that's kind of the update. I'm gonna be working. I need to find a new spot to shoot 300 yards, and where I cut firewood is there's a lot of space out there, but we currently have a forest fire going on out there, and I'm not sure if they'll let me back there at all, or if they're letting anybody back there, but I definitely will be looking for a place to shoot 300, 400, 500 yards, and we'll see what kind of grouping I can get out of this thing, because I definitely like to push it and, you know, see how far these things group for accuracy, because if you're talking about shooting prairie dogs, this gun will definitely put out the power at that range. So, if you guys liked the video, stay tuned for more. I'll keep you guys updated as to what's going on with the Wildcat, and I'll be working on another long-range video with the Impact. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'm more than happy to get to all your questions, or, you know, if it's tune-related or problem-related or whatever it is, I'll do my best to answer all you guys' questions. But thanks for watching.